Monday isikhathi selibhola Eswatini, a show where we talk about football issues. Esikhulumisa-ke kakhulu imidlalo edlala ngaphansi kwa-MTN Premier League. Lapho sibuka khona ukuthi kule mphela sonke lesisuka kuyo kuhambe kanjani kudo tinkhundla tethu la even lapho khona nakuleli viki-ke bekunemidlalo lemkhulu, kepha-ke kukulethela nje ukuthi namhla sekuphathele inehlelo nesitawuthinsa nje kancane iRoyal Leopard le yona ilapha ku-CAF Confederations kuma-group stages lebe idlala umdlalo wayo wesithathu kuyo group B. Sitawubona nje ukuthi ngabe kuhambe njani khona. Saseke siyachubeka mbukeli sesibuka imidlalo lebe ikhona lapha ekhaya njengalokhu bekunemidlalo lemkhulu kakhulu lebe siyibukile kule mphela sonke lesisuka kuyo lapho khona lomnye wale midlalo ubone yona iMoneni Pirates idlala nayo iThabangula Ukhelezi lapha emavuso lebe kuyi-double header kuyi-yellow weekend njengaloko emva kwawo umdlalo kwasekudlalwa na eManzini Wanderers lebe ithulana nayo iMbabane Highlanders. Big game, big goals, and of course down enhlangano bekunayo yona iMbabane Swallows ithulana nayo Green Mamba, where we saw one of the best goals we've seen in a long time in the country. Of course you'll get to see it here because Eswatini TV tries to just cover le lapho akhona kufinyelela khona. Chubekele imidlalo yona khona lesifinyelele khona lapha esiteke lapho khona ngelisonto. iDenver Sundowns ithole nayo eMalandi lebe ihostwe ngiyo eMalandi, iyagcina iwonile inqobile eMalandi. Lekutshela ukuthi eMalandi maybe sebaqalile kubalekela i-relegation, but we'll get to talk about that more as isakhuluma la ehlelweni le sengivele ngihleli naye ngilinda Master Dlamini. Well lesenginaye showini Linda Master Dlamini, angumukele ngonikele lithuba ukuthi uvusele babukele emakhaya.
Ngiyabonga mphathizo kumukela ehlelweni lakho. Ngitithuba lokhulu ngivusele ama loyal viewers ekhaya. Monday ngiyathi ukuthi inqumbi ema loyal viewers sekavela Temidlalo bafuna kubuka ukuthi ingabe khambe kanjani because ngeke wonke muva khona ku attend onke lama games, kodwa ngenhlanhla lenhle eMswati Eswatini TV wona uyazama ukuthi ukhave cishe onke lama games.
Speaking of ucishe ukhava onke lama games, you were at Mavuso on Saturday, Hlangano Sunday, Speak Sunday. You were in Hlangano Saturday, Speak Sunday. Tabla lonke le live cut trying to collect, and of course hence that's mawuhlela nama umina nokhuluma. People mabona le stadium bathi yo besinayo vele ngifuna ikhuluma ngiyibonini.
Phathizo ngicabanga ngathi khambelana nepassion. Tinvo letinye uyayidzinga ukuthi utende ngepassion ebese tikwako konke lokho sohlonipha labamvu lobalethela lendvo because akusiko kwami akusiko kwakho kwalabamvu labahlele emakhaya labahleli nyalo babukele wona umsakade Eswatini TV.
Nembala Master siphindze simukele bona labo elesihleli nabo la kulolu hlelo libhola Eswatini. Savele singene kudoke insaba lesiphathele tona namuhla lapho khona Royal Leopard Master first game we're going to talk about but ke bekumdlalo wabo wesithathu kuyo iCAF Confederations lo initially bokumele kube ngumdlalo wokucala, but because of ukuthi Leopard yaphuta acecela ukuthi ya qualify or not base bayihlehlise yakhona ke kudlala kule mphela sonke lesisuka kuyo that defeat of the group stages.
It's too bad for Royal Leopard. Nawubuka ukuthi ku 3 games kude igame labayinqobile kude umdlalo labayinqobile and i-goal difference -7. It's too bad. Ngicabanga ukuthi njengoba ubona ukuthi ihleli lapha egcinene 0 point -7 goal difference. Ngicabanga ukuthi and nawubuka lama teams la khona la akusima teams longasho ukuthi ma powerhouse ase-Africa, akusinje mhlambe longasho ukuthi iRoyal Leopard bekumele ukuthi belapha egcinene.
But Master, if we being fair, iRoyal Leopard I'll know for sure Orlando Pirates ne JS Sora ukuthi these are two countries who have won the prestigious trophy. Leopard yaqala kufika la. So wouldn't you say, well, this year they got there, next year maybe let's expect them to compete?
But at least kube sikhuluma ukuthi kulo 3 games at least
better home ground advantage.
Ngitakhona phathizo ukuthi lo 0 point i-result ma factors nqumbi le-5 khathi le home ground kude home ground
against them.
In fact nawungathi uyabala phathizwe i-Royal Leopard ayikaze yaphumula since idlalile lama games lawa ingenile ama group stages. So ngicabanga ukuthi in fact bekumele ukuthi kule game ile yase after le game yase Algeria ingaphumi iRoyal Leopard ukudlala ngaphandle because beyita hosta iOrlando Pirates ihoste Al Ittihad ebese seyidlala lama games e-league shothi bekungedzinga ukuthi ingaphumi
tabi ngakahambi
in about 2 weeks
Yeah.
but kulo 2 weeks loyo ihambile yaphuma yabuya yadlala ama-league games yaphindze yahamba itaphindze ibuye futhi idlale i-league game iphindze ihambe so ngicabanga ukuthi tonke letinto leto ngento let-contributayo ukuthi i-Royal Leopard ibe na 0 point at the moment -7 goals goal difference.
So still it goes back to the issue besasikhuluma ngayo
infrastructure lesitawukhuluma ngayo lesitahlale sikhuluma ngayo but ke siyethemba ukuthi siyethemba
we saw kuma pages government on social media akhuluma nga 85% done kule road lokhanjwa ngayo if ubothi it's 85% done and Sihlangu will be playing very soon le party yaqhubeka yadlala I think sele one more game lokumele bayidlale ekhaya lokusho ukuthi against iJS sorry yase Algeria. Yes. It's the only game le possible usibangayidlala kaSomhlolo. Mawubuka if by then CAF utabe seka approve.
If exactly ngifuna kusho lokho phatheza ukuthi if CAF approve Somhlolo ukuthi ufit again.
Yeah.
Because if CAF atawuthi Mavuso akekho fit to host CAF games then bese some competition naSomhlolo. Is Somhlolo better than Mavuso?
But Somhlolo is under renovations. So I think if, and that's a big if.
Yeah.
If ba renovate Somhlolo, kuthi laba plug khona the requirements are CAF, kuthika ukuthi lokho sasekachievile. Just laba kwenta kolite.
Let's wait and see. Lamhla 7 ku March. Ngiyawucela producer wami kuthi ngalesikhathi seyivulekile Somhlolo. CAF asashito konke ukuthi uyamvuma noma iphindwe le clip le because I doubt
ukuthi
siyawamithela ama requirements let's ngo CAF. I doubt. I really doubt.
When you say that ngimi nje kufika in no man's land it's if you compare the rest of the stadiums that they cancel and you look at our stadium well sitayibamba la master sethembo se producer tayiphinza as njengokucela kwakho kepha ke sitawuchubeka because otherwise master good thing ukuthi CAF aka interfere with local football.
Yeah.
Because if it was the
football,
case
for local football in fact even me I miss kubukela ema games kaSomhlolo.
Yeah.
Ema league games.
Sengisho kona master ukuthi for that ukuthi CAF aka interfere with local football. The show goes on. Ema games aqhubeka siyadlalisa. Yes. Vele kuyiconcern enkulu ukuthi sikule level esikuyo but ema games bekadlala over the weekend ngoyo iM10 Premier League njalo kusesingena kuyo kubuka ukuthi ngabe kuhambe kanjani master of course yadlala iRoyal Leopard nayo Highlanders le game le ya decide atint kepha ke big games labeka khona lana including yona iManzini Wanderers lebedlala na imbabane Highlanders master. We're going to talk more about that game because we do have the highlights for that game. We're going to talk about that game but some of the games ladlala master you have we have also a Grimamba, but I want to talk about because all these games are the games that we have visuals for. So we're going to discuss them after Emma highlights of every game. But Young Buffaloes Ashaya Sipets by 4 goals.
We
were talking the other days because Sipets why in compete.
Yeah. For Young Buffaloes partizo ngicabanga ukuthi bakhonele ku bounce back from a poor start ku season nawubuka lama goal laba wina ngawo le ndlela labadlala convincingly ukusha isibet 4-0 ngicabanga ukuthi that's a big scoreline nawubuka indlela isibet lesokulisenga incumbi ama teams this season for Young Buffaloes to wina against yona isibet 4-0 ngicabanga ukuthi ba statement less for Young Buffaloes ukuthi second round if Young Buffaloes itawuhamba ingadliwa second round yonke ngalamagoli washaya kulawo kutawubalwa egcineni.
Yeah, Tambuti Rangers relegation battle. Tambuti is picking up the points.
Yeah.
See what patience yendelani Tambuti King Clay.
Oh yes. Ngithanda indlela labadlala ngayo Phathizo. Not only indlela labadlala ngayo le unity, le team spirit kule team uyabona lokuthi nyalo sebaqala kudlala as a team. Ngihlale ngisho ukuthi if you are a former player, if you are a legend, thatha lo nakuya lo gainer all those years udlala ibhola ukutransferishe kulabadlali abancane le team spirit uthole indlela ye team building uthole the right tactics bawinile against the Rangers lencabanga ukuthi batendela ifavor but for i-Rangers kutaba likhulu nyalo because say second round akusekho nje ema games la lula if awuwine ema games la njengabo Tambuthi then utawina mapha so ngicabanga ukuthi for yona i-Rangers abatendele ifavor
big win for i-Vovovo master.
Oh yeah. Hey Vovovo ngicabanga ukuthi Phathizo i-Vovovo since Caleb afikile uyayibona le team labaningi akude mhlambe ukuthi ngiyodlala neVovovo kumele si but yeah Vovovo they have a very good coach, they have very good players and nabo the way labadlala ngayo because Tinyos they are struggling. If utawuthola i-team lenjenge Tinyos istrugglisha ishaya convincingly, that's what iVovovo lekwentile against Tinyos.
Tawubalwa masa ezosho ukuthi nje kuyawubalwa mase ekugcineni kwawo konke. Sasingena kulawa games master lesikhonile ukuthi sifike sithole ithombe tawo. Saqala kuyo ithabangulo Kellis le beyithulana naye emoneni lapho bokhoste khona emoneni khona eMavuso Sport Center ku yellow weekend elebedlala khona eMavuso. We're going to take a look ukuthi kwahamba kanjani khona sibuye si break it down trying to put reason behind everything lesikubona kumabona kutse wethu.
Stock in the middle of the park in the MTN Premier League log, Tabangule Kellis visited Moneni Pirates at the Mavuso Sports Center on Saturday. Kellis gave themselves a major boost in their last meeting, recording a win, their last so far, to keep themselves well within touch with the leading pack with just 10 points separating them with the log leaders Mbabane Highlanders. Moneni Pirates, who are blowing hot and cold this season, were hoping for a better change of luck in the second round after losing 5, drawing 5 and winning 5 of their games in the first half of the season. Talk about balancing the scale. Kellis came with a plan and a solid one at that, with a quick implementation at the start of the match. Tlanganyane called to action in the first minute of the match with a hard-hit shot to hand the visitors a much-deserved lead. Melane thought he had equalized for the host, but his attempt dismissed by the referee. Kellis were not slowing down. Jabulani Mpimbili's shot well dealt with by Begisisa Dlamini. Soon after, Kellis' defense were caught on a back foot, Malibongwe Malinga finding the back of the net, only to be ruled offside. It was wave after wave, similar to their last attempt. Sibonelo Melane and Malinga were causing all sort of problems up front. 1-0 the scoreline at halftime. The host started the half like a house on fire, borrowing a leaf from the Kellis book, snatching a lead in the opening minute of the half, courtesy of Smelane. Kellis thought they had equalized. Minutes later, Slongonyane's high-flying shot denied by the crossbar. Pirates had the perfect chance to grab the lead when Simelane passed through the box. His snap shot pounced away by the keeper. Durandivane's switch almost paid off immediately when Spiwe Gameze's cross was missed by Nelly Somieni, much to the relief of Pirates' defense. However, the worst was not over yet. Kellis awarded a penalty in the 75th minute. Nelson Mieni made no mistake in netting home his first of the match. The drama was far from over as the referee Thokozani Dlamini pointed to the spot for the second time in a space of 10 minutes. A much needed opportunity for the man in black. Xolani Ngwenya took responsibility, but his shot was saved by Nganawe Dladla, much to the relief of Jimo Moses. Great result for Kalis away from home, bagging their first win of the second round. Nurandibane, a happy man indeed.
What a game that looked like, Master. You're looking at the way Monende Shalangayo, Master.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the final score. Aklangan.
Aklangan. Lengicabanga I big result for yena Nuro Ndibane. First game go second round, first game go Kalis. As an experienced coach, naye Nuro ngicabanga ukuthi motivation kuye nalabadlali bakhe, and ngiyatla ukuthi the players are motivated because kuna new coach, you want to impress coach lomusha kule team, but ngicabanga ukuthi dineng letinwe satsenga ukuthi tilungise more especially ngala kuMonen Pirates inangabe ba attack ngihlale ngikhala ngako ke mina ukuthi iMonen Pirates a very good naba when going forward, but naba attacker this is a beautiful goal, beautiful take from yena Mazuslongonyane, but ngicabanga the way inakhuza le defender ngayo
three defenders
uyabona udefender kanjani, in fact okokucala avoid the cross ukuthi ingene ekhase boxini, kwesibili naba cross abayifaka ekhase boxini umake bano la khase boxini ngiphi le danger area lekumele uyiprotect, because le ball ichamuka ngento asuvumela wena le striker ukuthi singene la ngaphambili kwakho, uyabona usinika le space. Ngicabanga ukuthi tonke letinvo leto, but ngenhlanhla yabo noma ngenhlanhla yawo onke lama teams ikhona lama highlights ukuthi batobukela ukuthi yini into lethambe kahle. That's a good call for me, that's a good call because it's offside. Lengicabanga ukuthi wayithola kahle second first assistant referee, that's an offside.
But for Emmanuel Paris, the chances you kept seeing Lana Master, it tells you ukuthi mabaya lembili kulast state bafika kahle,
yeah,
but finish.
I think nayo iMonen Pirates because iMonen Pirates kahle idlala kanje composure inside the box. Beautiful goal from yona Sibonelo Simelane, because if solapha ekhase boxini labanye bebese bajaka barasha kanzi goalkeeper already so ti-committed, but nakhona ngifuna ukuthi i-defense yayo iThabankulu Kellis, yes, right there, because uphakamisa sandla, in fact nayifika le bola ingena as a defender, because already you're right back, when as a defender it's either u protect le bola ukuthi ingakwendluli or
you're closing down the
player uyabona wenda show ukuthi one uyahamba one kuyasala, but akakhona ke kwenda lokho ihambile ibhola wayithola Sibonelo. Beautiful goal.
Yeah, that goal was beautiful ngendlela legal thethe ngayo Master, but for iThabankulu Kellis the experience lekanayo, he's a tightly winning coach 3 times awin league, and he's got some cup games winile. For him to come to Baba Manzini, come to Manzini afika jika and at the point iKellis behlala sithi untouchable eThabankulu, but bafikela nabathi we don't care, and we're coming back next week because they're playing Wanderers. But we don't care. Bafika watching at the point.
Patizo, ngibuka lama penalties lawa thole both teams. I'm like, good call from the referee. Beautiful take from yena kushaya le penalty. Ngicabanga ukuthi nakhona ipenalty labanye bathi dice, but if uyithole kahle uyayishaya. So ngicabanga ukuthi ukhuluma ngaNuro ukuthi ufikile la kule team nababuka naba when going forward, you remember Royal part, but Jimo Moses went down as an experienced defender because lo move ugijimela ngendazi. If umprotector kahle phathizo umguide ukuthi
why are you latching in
uyabona uyaphi linyawo as an experienced player, as the captain, as the leader of the team, he's not supposed to wenda ema-checklist la kanjena ekhatha boxing.
And it's a beautiful save as well.
Beautiful save.
Or rather, is it beautiful save or poor penalty? Because the goalkeeper committed
already
time ago.
Already goalkeeper so vele ukutshengisile ukuthi uyakuphi. Uyabona? Uyakutshengisa ukuthi wahamba goalkeeper.
So vele uqalile uyahamba even way before shy.
In fact, inakuza ibadlale because goalkeeper utayiphika inside lakhe.
Yeah.
As a player, ubuka goalkeeper ukuthi wenda njani ngiyaye ngithi ke mina phathizwe la madvolweni la ngaphasi goalkeeper usuke somfunzile once goalkeeper wabhenda lenyawo leli usho ukuthi uyaka right once wabhenda leli uyaka left as a player kudzinga ukuthi letinvo leto wena utati uhlale utibukile ukuthi goalkeeper okay already usohambile uyaka left angishaya ka right.
Mina senda ukuqhubeka ngibheke ngale ngendlela. It was a beautiful game master but ayikagcini lapho because the following game kube ngiyo yona le game I'll say second third best T game in the country lapho khona iMbabane Highlanders bethelana nayo eManzini Wanderers. We're going to take a look ukuthi kwenteke lapha kuyo i6 goal thriller lapho khona sitawubuya si break it down.
After a disastrous last outing, Mbabane Highlanders were out to redeem themselves and possibly reclaim the top spot at the top of the summit when they travelled to Manzini to face Liweseli in match week 16 of the MTN Premier League. In football, they say you are as good as your last match, and Inkunzi head coach Sly Musala knew exactly that in order to change their luck, they had to make a number of changes in their matchday squad. Who are not far from the relegation zone were also wary of the danger that a wounded Highlanders pose, having played to a 1-0 draw in their last meeting. Newly appointed head coach Velekaya Mthethwa was all smile at the start of the match and was counting on the boys to keep that smile on his face. Musala introduced Delisa Gama, Lindokuhle Fagutse, Peter Dlamini and Tony Muchacha in the first 11. Wanderers looked troubled at the start of the match, making schoolboy errors and were almost punished, but Sabelo Skalinzinesa's shot was way off target. Totally unlike him, considering the fact that he is leading the top scorers chart so far this season. Highlanders defense were caught napping 5 minutes later, with Fabrice Mupina grabbing a much-needed opener in the 9th minute. Mupina done a great favor by Peter Dlamini, who did all the spade work for him. 1-0 to Liweseli, a proper assist from the opposition. In front of the home crowd, Wanderers were showing a glimpse of their former self that saw them accumulate their big fan base. Minutes later, Wanderers were punished for their flamboyant style of play, Scully chipping it over to an empty net. After that much-needed equalizer, Highlanders were free-flowing up front and should have taken the lead. Mubina was a constant thorn in Highlanders' defense, restoring Wanderers' lead in the 37th minute. perfect half from Tetfa and the boys. The halftime pep talk from Musala seemed to have triggered a lot of good in the Highlanders camp, but it was Wanderers who got the first real chance at goal. Highlanders were circling in well and oozing with confidence, and Zinisa's header ruled offside. Planim Convo rose well to the occasion, grabbing Highlanders second to level matters. After missing out on a number of opportunities, it was time for Plan B. Musala bringing in Siboniso Mane Lukele for Planim Conform. With 3 fresh legs up front, Lukele grabbed the lead for the visitors. Proper tap in from close range, leaving the keeper with no chance at all. He was not done as of yet, solidifying Inkunzi's lead on added on time, 4-2 in favor of Highlanders. Crucial 3 points for the City Giants, keeping up pressure on a busy Royal Leopard.
If I were to sum that game, Master, it's a game of poor defense from both teams and good finishing from both teams.
Phathezo ngicabanga ukuthi uyisummarize kahle nawubuka vele cishe onke lamagoli. In fact kunema similarities kulama goal, because if ibhola that's a schoolboy mistake. You can't be chesting ngeke ucheste ibhola ekhathi eboxing defender. Akusizone that's not a building zone.
Controlela abantu lapho.
Ucontrolela in because layer zone layer
clear header.
We are clear a defensive header beyitawusita kakhulu because uclear uyayibona ibhola ichamuka etulo uyabona uchestela bani
wethinde thinking
uchestela bani well taken from yena Mopina ngicabanga ukuthi yena Peter because ubuya ku injury
mhlawumbe switch on fully
yes ukuthi kuseningi letinto vele kucinga ukuthi tilungiso kuye, but ngicabanga ukuthi cishe njengoba ngisho ukuthi almost onke lamagola because lena goalkeeper uphuma uyapi because nawuphuma as a goalkeeper,
and he's short for that matter.
Lengwatiko Phathizo nawuphuma as a goalkeeper uphuma if the striker sekahlulekile lema defenders le striker seshela ama defender so uyaphuma ke wena utozama ukuvala
i-1-on-1,
but nangabe kuyi-50 ukuthola ukuthi i-defender ne striker babambene awuphumi because kungenteka noma ngayini
uyapi see this clip wala abadlali be-Wanderers lapha
two wema defenders bekangeka
ukhashana nobakhashana nale bhola. Look at Chipa as le bhola ingena because uyakubuyela keeper wakhe ukuthi uyapi. Look at that, the reaction la, it shows ukuthi uyapi keeper.
Ngicabanga ukuthi kuvisana buhlungu kakhulu Phathizo if utasi intimisela benleader une chance ukuthi nibambe le game then bese sekwendeka I mistake.
For my thinking, master, you know why cheaper react so bathembisana banasikhali ku pre-match wasilomnye ngokora wasilomnyuta ukora so le reaction there tells you something. But another one, master, of those mistakes lesikhuluma ngawo in defense, but
beautiful pass,
take away nothing from Scotch with that pass.
Beautiful pass from Yena Scotch, beautiful take from Yena Fabrice Mopin, but the defense umbuto wami mina ngihlale ngithi Phathizo umake bani if we defend utoswena kune striker lotasiyekela kanje if i-triple itholile umake bani yabona. But beautiful take from Yena Fabrice Mopin.
The moment you start chasing and a keeper shasha commit how kanza pambana nayo, but Mopin composure again. I think this weekend we just saw emagoli la changisa ukuthi badlali bethu they can switch to that level if bafuna.
Imanzi nonda ngicabanga sibe solo imdzinga Fabrice Mopin. Remember ukuthi bekangabe
khona if that's what Rafaela uyaphamisa ukuthi offside abayithathene 10
kule naphuza lena
yini concern ukuthi bongasiye obongi
concern lothi was it really
from where I am, master,
that's not an offside. That's not an offside. I mean, I'm convinced accept offside le.
Not unless the player before the play the offside.
No.
Skali singala line mthunzi umfake cut.
Ngale usekhathe boxing.
Sancho ukuthi master probably if we can look at the clip back ukuthi mhlambe ngiphilana lebeka offside line mina waphika kona. Because Skali there was no way lebeka offside ngayo Skali. Maybe probably if we take it back and see how far it goes, could see maybe it was Pilane lebeka offside.
Maybe Pilane, but
because Skali was never offside.
Skali bangasi offside.
And we just
and kuvisana buhlungu ukuthi as a striker utashaya igoli elihle kanje uthi offside.
Kube ngasiyo. That's the worst part. Yeah, but for Skali it's no problem because even if no there was just no offside. But anyway we continue with the show because you can see ukuthi they did everything right. In terms of 5 cards, but the marking, master.
Again, Phathizo, staphenze sibone nalgoli la kora imbabana Highlanders. But kule ubuka chipa ukuthi ungakuphi angathi I-defense yakho Phathizo as a coach noma as a team kune left center back kune right center back. Chipa is a left center back.
But he's playing centrally nglamalanga, master.
Centrally left center back. Kune right center back. Yabona lo because Chipa siyamati ukuthi bayadlala number 3 sho sina uyi left center back kumele kube ne right center back lo luta ucover le lihlango sila ka right. Chipa expect ukuthi yena acover because ugodi ka left acover kule lihlango sileli onke amabhola lechameka ngala acover nguye.
But ngibuka le goal lela ukuthi le header ukuthi uheader cut ngama6 esikhala akamele singa area keeper le because now une advantage yokuphuma ngetandla.
Ngicabanga le communication because i-cross yonke cross lengena ekhathe boxing
especially ngama6
yonke cross lengena ekhathe boxing ya goalkeeper in fact wa hesitate because wabese soyema endleleni kanzi
how sure he is
awu hesitate now uphuma bathi goalkeeper once wayenda le decision wase ngiyaphuma all out once wema vele ume uyabona wajika endleleni ayi
daba nenkinga again master we talking about the same thing ukuthi eboxing kunemidlalo embabana Highlanders longa kamako
boka ke Phathizo ngisho nakule ngushoko Chipa ungala ngentasi uto cover la cuts look at him la khona centrally Phathizo if utodlala nga4 ema defenders njoba ngishito
he had the time to control
uyabona
wacedzela solokude lo thatha ibhola
angithayibona le English sibona kuyo Chipa ugadze ibhola lechamka la ngentasi ehlangothini la ka right nakata uthena etela ngenhla already sekulate kude umlokhavile ngala ngenhla ngala kanzi yena umsebenzi wakhe ukuthi athi wena longa le right center back mcover ndawuma mnela yabona so ngicabanga ukuthi tonke letinto leti even nanyalo three wama players embabana Highlanders uyabona ekhathe box kude ngishona munye in fact ngihlale ngithi mina if we are defender
right there
if we are defender inside the box ufuna in I hate mina personally zonal marking because iyawehlula ema teams.
Okay master, if you look at this play master buka mane ukuthi ukuphi isiboniso buka ukuthi ukuphi but because he switched on buka ukuthi wendani after the ball is released
every move
buka look at him
movement ekhatha boxing in fact the defenders emanzini Wanderers ball watching ithi tena ingena ngale ifaka le cross but
you know why lichubeka sibuka la highlights master sengiyabuka ukuthi kube sacela inye camera ukuthi basibambele inye but asishuthela la cards because they were ball watching
no vele bona bebayibukele le cards lengicabanga ukuthi dinvo lethu in fact Phathizo kule half yenu awuniki opponent isikhala sekudlala awumniki iopponent imovement any of movement lendekako kule half yenu
right in front of Chipper what was happening lapha master ukuthi wahlulwa kanjani Chipper clearisha that ball because manje uthesela la kuye la
Phathizo sokuthi angifuni ku
just wanted before we even get there lapho khona ba ifika ichamuke emoyeni Chipper should have played that ball.
In fact Phathizo lesikishilo kuleli goal lecala azama ku controller Peter ku Chester ibhola as a defender le bhola ithi na ichamuka itala ngakuwe wena involo yendako wenda show
nayi le bhola yachamuka
header le bhola header
man come on
header ufuna kuyidlala ngani if awuyihead ilapha etulapha ngilama strength ke Phathizo lo understand as a coach ukuthi for me Chipper akabuyele ku left back nihambe nifune a central defender yabona
transfer window is open today
exactly hambani nifune a central defender abuyele ku left back adlale I position yakhe
master babukele they'll get to watch the extended highlights tomorrow but now we're going to take a look at kwendekani enhlangano because we are running out of time. I know kusilama games more especially that Mbabane Highlanders game and Wanderers too much to talk about but Scotty you know just an hour is never enough. So now we're going to take a look at iyona Green Mamba lebethwana nayo imbabane Swallows khona enhlangano ukuthi kwahamba kanjani.
Mbabane Swallows were out to avenge their 1-0 defeat to Green Mamba in the first round on Saturday afternoon at the King Sopoza II Memorial Stadium. Green Mamba, who were out to complete an MTN Premier League double over Swallows after winning the first leg 1-0, were in for a rude awakening. In his first match in charge, Green Mamba's newly appointed coach Ernest Mavuso hoped for nothing less than a draw. Having got the honours to get the match underway, Swallows were in quick search of an opener. The Mbabane side was throwing numbers in front, looking more of a team that utilised their 2 weeks break to polish up on a number of tactics. Mavuso's charges almost came close to an opener after a set-piece situation, but Njabulo Makakula failing to find the target. Soon after, Inyoka El Shazana were presented with yet another chance, with Mbutwa Dlamini taking long to pull the trigger. They were not to be denied in the 32nd minute, Mkolisi Mkonvo smashing it home, leaving Sandile Kininza with no chance at all. To what looked more like a perfect start for the coach. Class indeed from Convo. Swallows were throwing numbers up front and pushing for an equalizer with Thabo Vilagati combining well with Njabulo D4D Dlamini in front of goal but couldn't find his way through the traffic. Their call for a handball was falling on deaf ears. A solo effort from D4D was not enough to level matters for the home team. His kick way off the target. Strained from the centre marker, the visitors were in search of their second of the game in an attempt to unsettle the host. However, it was Swallows who got the first real chance at goal in the 60th minute. A half-time change for Swallows looked like the right omen for the man in blue. Swallows opted for changes, introducing Tony Tabete and James Nguluve for Leon Manyisa and Sizolwetu Shabalala to give them a much-needed boost in attack. A move that saw Swallows awarded a penalty after a handball situation inside the box. Felix Fela stepping up to level matters for the host, proving that it doesn't matter how they come as long as they come. 1-1 the scoreline. Swallows were threatening again, putting the keeper under pressure, but Fela's header was wide of the target. Swallows did find the target eventually in the 70th minute, but Sandile Hlachwago's attempt was ruled offside, much to the frustration of Swallows' bench. Green Mamba had a chance to restore their lead, but were denied by a D4D well-timed tackle inside a box that saw referee Mbongeni Shongwe reaching for his pocket. Swallows were not to be denied 2 minutes from time through a Felix header. His second of the match to what would be the last action of the match. Umkhonto grabbing all 3 points to maintain their 4th spot with 29 points in the MTN Premier League log.
Controversial decisions, Master, all over that game. Beautiful goals. Well taken header, well taken. That free kick was beautiful.
Beautiful goal from Yena from Kolisi. Ngicabanga game le be full of controversy from minute ekuqala until last minute. But this goal, I feel like because of the power, it's a beautiful goal. But I feel like Ngomish should have done better. Yeah. But again, because of his height, une disadvantage kuleli goal le.
Wasn't even high, Master man. You see, he was just under it.
In fact,
once bitten for pace.
Once oba letanyana
because he was bitten for pace.
Yeah, once oba letanyana kuhlale kuba ne debate ke khona lenye group labe ba debate kuyo ukuthi usebenzisa njani lesandla lesi kukani bekumvuma kulesa
use the right hand.
Yes, but ngicabanga ukuthi washa I calculation to understand because of the power.
Too many penalty appeals, some given, some were not.
About 3, wow, le ngivangathi, but ngicabanga ukuthi imbabano Swallows yakhona ukuthi ibuye kule game yakhona ukuthi attack bese izama isebenzisa le ndlela le yatiwa ngayo lokufaya lama crosses
penalty or not?
No.
Why?
No. Isandla asikaphumi because
in fact he's protecting himself.
Exactly. Lesandla wasigodla uyabona. Something yamthinza yona libhola kule sandla but bekungasi penalty
because it's body.
Exactly. Lesandla sila kule body it's natural position.
And you don't give that to Felix and he will
ngajabula because labanengi babaqansita uthathwa ngithoni le nakuza le but wavele wayithatha Felix was very sure ukuthi utayishaya le penalty le wayithatha wayishaya power wayibona umkhulisi ukuthi bhenga kuphi but because of ipower wakhona ukuthi ayikora.
And kwaba nalenye penalty appeal, Master, if we still have time to show it Lea Felix. The header
iyangena cross uyaphuma mkhulisi uyozama kuphuncha ibhola akayitholi ushaya inhloko there. That's a penalty.
Very late.
That's a penalty for me.
Very late.
That's a penalty because wamshaya inhloko Felix wathola ibhola because ayibona ibhola ukuthi ibheka kuphi. Wayithola Felix ibhola mkhulisi wangayitholi ibhola washaya
kind of the contact ibhola sevele pull away.
Yes. That's a penalty.
Lokunye lokwazi ukuthi Master it was a penalty. Kwaba goal kick le.
Yeah.
Mkhulisa ayitsinzanga ibhola.
Mkhulisa ayitsinzanga ibhola.
How was it not given? There was another penalty appeal yayo Green Mamba on the other end, Master
Le
talking point is talking ngayo.
Yeah.
That ball, if it was a goal kick, shoti akayithinsanga ball at D40
Yes.
penalty. Was it D40 or Thabo? I think it's Thabo.
It's Thabo, yes.
If it didn't touch, if that was a goal kick, shoti penalty.
The referee
It's a corner.
It's a corner.
So he touched it.
Yes. Uthiwa itsinza wanika wabhuka umdlalo weGreen Mamba good for
But the fall, Master.
Yes.
Look at the, you see, come on.
No, locally the fall. Yabe
the
sese
fall,
ishintsha yonke lento because it's like when asuyayithenga le penalty. Uyabona. Hence le yellow card.
And Rafaela was convinced because we didn't see the
Yes,
ball at Thabo.
yes.
Hence, he pointed for a corner. Well taken crosses, Master. We always talk about swallows ngama crosses.
In fact Patizwe ngabe sesengiyadibuta ukuthi iGreen Mamba because iSwallows solo iwafaka lawo mabhola ekhathe boxing and nale lebe sikhuluma ngayo ukuthi bekumele kube penalty beku result yala cross labeka ngene ekhathe boxing attacker yena Felix but bekude imitamo bebayenda lenganani Felix if that's a free header unika Felix a free header inside the box suicide
Master, and Mbabane Swallows scored the maximum 3 points. I think baphindisela because first round divided 1-0 nyelo bakhona ukuthi banqobe ngamagoli amabili kulinya. We're going to take a quick look at yona iDenver Sundowns labo bedlala khona nayo iMalandi Chiefs khona eSpiki.
Malandi Chiefs continued with their quest to move out of the relegation zone when they hosted Denver Sundowns at the Kilana Stadium out in Pikes Peak. Malandi, who have collected 4 points in their last 5 games, the most so far this season, knew the task at hand if they are to survive the X. Sundowns were also not far from the danger zone, were out to avoid their 11th defeat of the season. Malandi had the first real chance at goal with Mfundo Mkabela coming close to squeezing it in. The host thought they've got an opener through Sandile Mazibuko, but it wasn't to be. Opportunities were hard to come by for Sundowns, but almost made something from a set-piece position. The captain Wanele Lamini was leading by example, whipping in a great cross that was met by Mfundo Mkabela to give Malandi a much-deserved lead. 1-0 to Malandi at half-time. Mkabela had a number of opportunities which he failed to take advantage of. Malandi were almost made to rue their missed opportunities. Spamandla Masego's shot saved by Kolani Gama. Mazibuko was having a great day in office, piling pressure on Sundowns' defense, and they were not to be denied with Nkosi Mpile Lamini heading home. Sundowns had an opportunity of their own, Mike Dombo's header wide of the target. The last they will get on the day, with the host taking all 3 points home.
Kepa, what did you say about Malandi and avoiding relegation this time around?
Not this time
Not
around.
this time around. You're
But
still insisting?
Malandi ngathi funa ukugila tika. In fact, they believe so much ku Raymond the coach we have even the defense makhuluma ukuthi uyabona ke Ray soqale imagic yakhe naye now what's kakhulu so ngicabanga ukuthi for a big win for yona iMalandi Chiefs Mazibuko Bubesi Bubesi was on fire yeah kakhulu but I was very disappointed kule game le. That's a story for another day though ukuthi fourth official angaphakamisa sandla nakumele kungene ebadlali kuthi inyalo singena jersey number 7 aphakamise 7 we don't want that kubhola yakithi
we'll show that clip on Wednesday on Thursday to see ukuthi ukhuluma ngani ngoma some will say hayi master nemanga kasijengisingani yabona so we'll show but if we're going to take a look quickly master but Sundowns and Monene Pirates I think they have the same problem creating chances but missing same case they had chances
they had chances but I feel like Malandi Chiefs bekumele yona ikore about 4 kule game le iDenver ngicabanga sinakhona dinenge letinule kusacinga ukuthi phathizwe akusiyo imistake ukuthi iArsenal season yonke ayika concede goal through i-corner kick because they brought in umcicesho wa corner kicks if we are a coach good when offensive thola someone lotakusita defending atobeka kahle ishape thola le balance
as we take a quick look at the log standing ukuthi ngabe sekumiwe kanjani as of now after games ladlaliwe of course Mbabana Highlanders having played one game more than Royal Leopard master lead 36 points but if you look at the top 8 master Norman's Inondra's there Mbabana Swallows top 4 Young Buffaloes number 3 they are doing well they are carrying the goals Sipet Kellys so see Kellys up there good for them
ngicela ku Young Buffaloes they are only two games away ukuthi ba match iyona iMbabana Highlanders but for iThabangolo Kellys ukuthi bangaba number 7 26 points ngicabanga ukuthi it's a good thing isibet yehlile kancane vovovo nabo ngicabanga ukuthi beta kahle number 5 for you remember kwasina cela season ngaba be top 6 so ngikatsile
solo
bayinyuka ngikatsile ukuthi nabo Green Mamba ilose against Mbabana Swallows ayikabendeli ifavor kakhulu manje Wanderers nabo badliwe kule weekend bahleli ku 20 points nabo ngicabanga ukuthi bayehla kancane but for iMalandi Chiefs if bathola 3 points egameni lelandzelako bahlala ngetulu kwetinyosi if tinyosi atiwini so ngicabanga ukuthi iMalandi Chiefs kancane ifuna kuprove again ukuthi ku second round by team lengadliwa
because nithambo utheqalile kweleka wona amaphuzu lendasi lokutshela ukuthi nyalo if you drop any points usenkingeni
kakhulu for ithambuthi ngicabanga ukuthi for them ngiva ngathi at the moment by team lengayivika irelegation
the way they sebadlala ngayo
nendlela sebadlala never buhlungu kakhulu nabo nga-relegate
King Clay is doing very well njalo kubuka ukuthi the patience besikhuluma ngayo ele iyabasebenzela
imagine if bekakhona nakuqala season
because clearly the players are responding well kuma tactics akhe but ke sitawubona ukuthi emphela somfo kudlala kanjani because nakhona si anticipate imidlalo leminye le njalo ukubheka ukuthi iqhubeke nemidlalo yeMTN Premier League khona la FN Master thank you so much for your time we're running out of time Master thank you so much
kubonga mina Phathizo ngibonga nama loyal viewers ekhaya
of course we are out of time but we're going to be back next week lapho khona sibe sibuka khona ukuthi kuqhubeke kwentekani kepha ke khumbule ukuthi kusasa phela mbukeli emini ngemasishaya gabanca insimbi yokuqala fotele ama highlights akho leseka extended lapho khona utawuva nema comments abo baqeqeshe ukuthi ngabe bathini ngale midlalo thina nawe sitawubona naye evikini lelitako ngawo umsombuluko my name is Phathizo Msili good night